you know, I'm just going to be totally honest. My circle, we don't use that word. Not because we believe in, I'm going to love my husband. I'm going to want the very best for him. I'm going to want to be what scripture says a virtuous woman is. It's about me behaving in the way that God has said that I need to. I want it to be where when I get married, that in the times that I'm not being as virtuous as I should be, and my husband sees that I'm contentious and goes on the roof, please God, let him come back in the house and not leave the house. I want to be where, I'm there for him. I'm his helpmate. And there be some times when he kind of, not literally, but I'm going to use the word leash, okay? When he lets me off the leash and says, you go get him. You know what I'm saying? If there's a situation where I'm more well equipped to handle a situation, like when you and Vaughn were saying, you knew I wasn't going to let us keep those bags. You knew that, but not because I submit under your authority. I don't even like to stand over a man, so we don't use the word. We talk about the behavior, because the behavior is going to be what we can kind of sink our teeth in, and that's what you want to work towards. But if you just use this blanket word of submission for me, for the females that that's in my close circle, and I don't have a lot of friends, but that's why I said, where did this come from? I know what it says in scripture. And when we're talking, from a spiritual standpoint, we do talk about it in that perspective, but we try to make sure that we understand what the behavior is. Because when you look at a virtuous woman, a lot of times when people say, oh, I'm a virtuous woman, there's a lot that she does. Are you cooking? Do you have a business? You know what I'm saying? Are you making sure that when he goes around other men, that you helped him, be respected? You know what I'm saying? If that means ironing his shirt, making sure that his clothes are right before he leaves out. So I tend to look at and focus on behavior. So when I ask, what does that mean? So if I was talking to a man one-on-one and he said, hey, I want you to submit. First of all, I'm hoping that any man that courts me doesn't have to ask that question, because he will just know. My aura will just present that. And if it doesn't, I'm praying to God that he corrects me. So I just want to know how I can help serve him. How can I make you better? What are you doing how are you willing to help make me better? I want to be inspired by him. I want him to be inspired by me. I want it to be where I'm not thinking about, his soul is more important to me than my earthly need for him to be what I need him to be. I'm going to pray for his soul. If, I don't want him to cheat on me, but if he does, I'm praying for his soul, because what he's just done is done in offense to God. It's impacted me, but he's done an offense to God. So that's what I tend to talk about in my circle. I've heard so much submission in YouTube. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then it's like, they're not qualifying it. When you ask people to qualify and to explain their words, it gets watered down, because they can't explain it then. Mm-hmm. So now you can tell they're just using talking points. They're just saying things. They don't know what it means. And it tends to make a person kind of look ignorant, not knowing, like you're saying something that you don't know. So I hope that I am just the woman that God needs me to be for him, and then my husband benefits from that. So that's the best I have with that. I don't really use that word in conversations.